Hey, it's Faith Talk Live, and I'm Rick Probst.
I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
I'm just Morgan.
What a pleasure to talk with Pastor Craig Bowler of Sanctuary Church. We've had Craig on many, many times, and it's good to see you, and it's good to hear from you. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about you guys? It's good to see y'all too.
Hey, listen, we're all adjusting in this pandemic, this COVID-19. I just noticed on the news that the National Guard has been called out for California, Washington, and New Jersey, I think.
wow.
So it's changing the entire landscape of what's going on in our world. And how you guys doing over there at Sanctuary?
We're doing really well, honestly. You know, our hearts are hurting and we're mourning with those that are mourning. There's so much hurt. And yet, at the same time, there's so much hope. We've really been encouraged by the enthusiasm for people in our church being willing to care for each other and check on each other and bless each other. So in the midst of all of this stuff that's so hard and heavy, you know, people getting sick and losing jobs, we've just been encouraged by so many people wanting to give and wanting to care and wanting to bless. So it's been I don't know how to describe it. We're mourning with those who are mourning and rejoicing with those who are rejoicing, and kind of doing it all at the same time. And I think it's just, honestly, I think it's just God at work in this season. I really think it's God at work. And at Sanctuary, we have been praying for some time for revival. We've been praying for awakening in our community and in our neighborhood, in our nation. And I just really believe that revival embers are burning. And this could be the time, you know, for God to do something incredible. And so we want to be a part of it. And we're excited.
We spoke earlier to Greg Laurie, and he mentioned to us, and Dan, help me here. I may elastically share these numbers, but they streamed their service this last weekend, and they had to do it on the fly because, you know, California's locked down. Right. He didn't have time to tell his folks that they were going to stream. Fortunately, they were working on it, you know, prior. That's something they wanted to do anyway. Instead of the whatever it is, he has his church 6,000 people. They ended up 300,000 people viewed.
Yeah.
Was it that high?
I think he said. Yeah, I think he said it was 250,000. But yeah, it was
250,000.
Oh my gosh!
And they are having so many people come to Christ.
It's beautiful.
That he says it's bigger than their harvest events that, you know, thousands of people show up. So I think you're spot on. I think you're right.
I think there's such a hunger for something more. I think people are asking the hard questions now, like what is life all about? And, you know, is there something bigger and more beautiful than this world in which we currently live in materially, you know? Wow, that's fantastic. Praise God for all of those people that are tuning in. I think this is the time. I really do. I'm really, really excited about it.
Yeah, we're talking to Pastor Craig Bowler from Sanctuary Church, and Craig, obviously, people are looking to the church during this time, and you guys are starting a new initiative, something because obviously we need prayer during this time. Talk about the prayer initiative that you guys are starting.
For sure. I was in Africa a couple weeks ago on a mission trip. We were doing some pastor conferences there, and we got called home. We were in Kenya, and we were supposed to go to Ethiopia, and we got called home, and so we came home, and I've been quarantined at home. And last week I woke up and just said, Lord, you know, I'm stuck at home. I want to be with our people, want to be out in the neighborhood. And I said, what can I do? I'm just stuck here. And God said, I just want you to be with me. I just want you to be with me. And I felt like the Lord just kind of say, hey, what I'd really like you to do is mobilize people to pray in a sense, so that people could be with him. And so I'm in this little pastor's prayer group here in West Cobb, and I texted the guys in our pastor's prayer group, and I said, hey, I read about the church in Singapore. When the virus first came to that part of the world, the church in Singapore rallied together every night they called it COVID 1900. They rallied together every night at 7 p.m. in their homes, and they just all committed that at 7 p.m. they would stop and pray. and that they would just be with God. They would commune with God, and they would pray for the neighborhood, and they would pray for the nations. So I asked our pastor's prayer group, I just said, hey guys, what if we did this? What if our churches did this? What if we just followed the example that's before us by the church in Singapore? And all the guys in our pastor's prayer group said, we're in, we'll do it. We'll do it. Like, let's do it. And so when I got off that call, I thought, well, who else could if God wants me to mobilize the church to pray and just to be with him, who else could I call? And so I just started calling friends and ministry partners literally all over the world. We reached out to the ministry partners that we have at Sanctuary in Cambodia and Africa, the Dominican Republic. We just kept sending out invitations saying, hey, would you guys be willing to join us every night at 1900 where at 7 p.m. whenever that is for y'all, and would you just pray? Would you just be with God? And we asked folks to pray really for three things: for healing, for wholeness, and holiness. That's kind of a phrase that we use around our church a lot at Sanctuary. And so all of these churches all over the world, it's nuts. And like churches all across the United States have said, yeah, we'll jump in and we'll pray. And so we're asking people to pray in their homes. And then as long as it's possible, we're asking people to go out into the neighborhood and to literally pray over their neighbors and to pray over their neighborhood and to pray over the nations. And so, yeah, we've been doing it the last few days. I've got a picture from Pennsylvania. I got a picture from Cambodia. Got a picture last night from one of our families in our church. Their little 4-year-old daughter is walking up the street praying. So yeah, we're just inviting people to join us. It's really all we're doing.
That is so good. Pastor Craig Bowler of Sanctuary Church, and we're watching him on Zoom, talking to him, and you're listening to him on Faith Talk Live.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. So often in these times we'd ask, ministry outreach, what are you doing? What do you need from us? We want to go out into the community and help. But with this particular case, we're not supposed to be going out in the community. We're supposed to be staying put. So it's like, how do you tackle that from a ministry outreach? And I think that is incredible. Just the prayer initiative, and prayer really does conquer all. Yeah. But what do you guys need? Like, what do you need? Is there a way that we can help you out? What do you guys as a church and a community need?
Yeah, thanks for asking. I just got off a call a few minutes ago with folks that are kind of helping lead our benevolence ministry, and then folks that are on our outreach team. We partner with a local church down the street. A local school down the street from our church called Hayes Elementary School. And we've been in partnership with those guys for a really long time. And Cobb County is working really, really hard on trying to make sure that kids get fed during this season when they can't get to the schools. But there are so many of the kids at Hayes that can't get to the schools if the schools do open. So we've become a drop-off point for folks to bring food to Sanctuary. We're packing up boxes of food. And this is the really cool part. The teachers from Hayes are coming to Sanctuary and picking up the food, and they're taking it to their students.
Wow.
To ensure that they make a personal connection and just check on them personally, as well as meeting that physical need that they have. So we're just more or less a facilitating point right now, and just helping people know where to. We're just collecting the food and making boxes, and then those teachers are coming and we're sending it out. And I was just checking. Right now we're helping about 100 families every day.
That's great.
Yeah, and we're super honored to be a part of that. And again, we're not really doing much. We're just packing food boxes, and those teachers those guys are the heroes. They're taking the food into the neighborhood and showing up at their students' doors and blessing their kids. That's just super cool. So we're honored to be in partnership with those guys.
Pastor Craig Bowler, Sanctuary Church. Pastor Craig, I'd mentioned this, I think, before we were live on both Zoom and on the segment. A lot of churches streaming. How can folks get connected with you guys? And you're actually doing videos now, right?
Yeah, we're doing videos right now. We're just at sanctuaryinhim.org. Best way to connect with us is just through our website, sanctuaryinhim.org. We also have a Facebook page. We're trying to get a little more active on that through social media, with so many people being home. We really, really want to be a church that empowers our people to be the church. Mm-hmm. And so we haven't done a lot of big performances, or sort of, I shouldn't say performances. we haven't done a lot of programmatic kind of things at Sanctuary. We've really tried hard to equip our people to be the church. So yeah, right now we're videoing our service, our gatherings, and then sending it out to people. But the best way to connect with us would be through the website. And we're just continuing to want to encourage our people to be the church right where they are in their neighborhood, in their homes.
I think it's important that you stress that, because this is teaching the church how to be the church outside of the building.
Man, that is so right, Dan. We were one of our guys was saying just the other day, like, this is what we've been preparing people for. Like, we've been equipping people to be the church, and now they get the opportunity to actually be the church. Apart from I think so many times people kind of have this imagination that the church is this big building and we go there and we do it there. Boy, this is a really exciting time, because it's encouraging and empowering people to be the church right where they are in their homes and in their neighborhoods.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm
Pastor
excited
Craig,
about it.
what we would like to do is next couple of weeks, we'd like to check back in with you to see how you
Please.
guys are doing. So we're with you guys. We appreciate you very, very much. Pastor Craig Bowler, Sanctuary Church.
Thank you.
Hey, we got to take a break. We'll be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
And I'm just Morgan.
Stay right there.